Okay, so I know I promised a really easy lesson today because I told you that I'm going to have a sub, right? So there you go. I apologize for always doing this at the beginning. But anyway, so here's the two questions that I want you to copy right now. First of all, what are the zeros of the function in the graph below? Okay, and the way they give this to you is really simple. You just have to find where the zeros are. Okay. Oh no, there you go. And so pretty much all they want you to do is look at the graph. The zeros I told you, we have to understand what zeros mean, right? And by definition, what that means is the point that touches the x-axis, or it could also be called solutions or x-intercepts, right? So just look at the graph. What do you think your answer is? Right? So this number right here is a -1. And what's your other answer? The other answer is a 3. So it's going to be -1 and 3. So as you can see, this answer is really easy. You will have choices A, B, C, D, and you have to select the one that says both -1 and 3, or maybe there will be two correct answers, one -1 and the other one will be 3. And so then obviously, what I want you to do now is solve this problem, okay? And it's the same thing. What are the zeros? Okay, so let me give you 30 seconds or so, just so you can find the zeros of this function. Ready? Go. Okay, so now, since you are done with that, I want you to go ahead and copy this question down. Which of the following polynomials is prime and cannot be factored? And so this is how your test would be. Of course, there's going to be more than 3 choices, but they're going to say A, this is an equation, B, this is another equation, C, and that is another equation. So what this question means is, and today this is the only question that you have to focus on because number 4 was too easy, wasn't it? So which of the following polynomials is prime? Okay, so we talk about prime factorization and whatnot. So when we factor numbers like 24, we talk about how this is 6 times 4, 4 is 2 times 2, and we say that 2 is a prime number because we can't factor it any longer. 6 is 3 times 2, and we say that 2 and 3 are prime numbers because we can't factor any further. So that's the same thing. They're asking you the same thing. Which equation is prime and cannot be factored? So if you really think about it, what that means is when you do the big X, can you factor them or not? Okay, so let's try A, okay? 3 times -1 is -3, right? And then 2 is at the bottom. So let's try and find factors of 3. 1 times 3. I think we could do it, right? So since this is a negative and when we add them, we need a 2. Oh, we have our answer, -1 and 3. So does that mean this is prime? It is not prime because we just factored it, didn't we? So then we have to put the 3 on top and then the -1 and the 3, simplify. So we already know that this is 3x minus 1 times x plus 1. Didn't we just factor it? So A is obviously not the correct answer because we just factored it, okay? So then let's move on, okay, to the next item, right? 2x squared minus 4x plus 1, okay? Uh-oh. Okay, so the thing that we have to remember when we do this is that we have to make sure that we cannot factor it. So you know what? The easiest way to do it is obviously just try and factor it yourself. Let's look at B, right? So do the big X. 1 times 2 is 2. -4 goes down here. Factors of 2 is only 1 and 2, so there's no way we can make -4. Okay, so B is the correct answer. What about C? Let's see. 6 times 2 is 12. You put that on top. This, if there's no number, that means it's a 1. So 1 goes at the bottom, right? So 12 has a factor of 1 and 12, 2 and 6, 3 and 4, and we might be able to make 1 with 3 and 4, but because this is positive and this is positive, it's impossible. Because if we have a positive number, our answers have to be two positive numbers, right? And 3 plus 4 cannot ever be 1, okay? This 12 has to be a negative in order for us to make 3 and 4 turn into a 1, because one of them would be negative, right? So this is also the answer. So in this case, we would have two answers, B and C. Okay, and so that is the end of today's lesson. There is actually another way to figure this out. To figure out if you cannot factor this, all you have to do is, remember the b squared minus 4ac? That was the stuff inside the Sleeping Beauty's castle. If you calculate this and this ends up being a perfect square, right, then you know that you can factor it, and everything else is prime. You cannot factor it. However, we never really talked about this in class, so since today I'm not here, when I come back, I will try and explain this to you a little bit. But for now, let's just go ahead and try and factor it out, and if you cannot, then you know for sure that this is prime. So let me give you your practice question, and we are done for the day, okay? Okay, so there you go. I want you to go ahead and solve this practice question. I don't know why it says number 6. It's supposed to be 5A. But anyhow, so this is the practice question. Please tell me, there's only one correct answer on this one. Which of the following polynomial is prime and cannot be factored? And that is it for today. Thank you so much.